Boom Beach has been going through some pretty big changes. We got squad leaders, crab tweaks, and engraver nerfs. But are these the right changes for the game? And what's coming up? We have Boom Beach's 11th anniversary just around the corner, and there's kind of a lot to think about for what might be coming up next. Like already earlier in the year, we had squad leaders, which were a pretty big change to troops. We had them not only in the main island for heavies and bombers, but even in warships. And normally, the way Boom was separated from Clash is just the fact that you have flares. You can move troops around where you want them. And squad leaders took that to a whole other level. You can flare normal troops and then use squad flares to move some other troops around. It really changed the way on how you're hitting some bases. Maybe not the biggest impact for main island since there's already super strong troops like Scorchers, Bombers, and Lasers. But maybe for low levels it had quite a different way on how you're dealing with bases. And for those into warships, especially changing how that goes. And if they ever bring squad leaders permanent in the game, it might develop into something we use kind of every day. But already the dev team trying to do something new and different and kind of seeing how we like it. The other big change this year was the engraver nerf. And I know a lot of people, including myself, wasn't a really big fan of this change. Like the actual engraver was pretty cool. We have brand new boosts that we never heard of. Some of them are like old tribes, speeding up troops or life leech. But we had some different ones like making other bases' ice statues a bit lower, or even lowering damage of things like rockets and stuff. So back before the nerf, you had really busted hits like rockets doing 0 damage on ops. And I get why they nerfed that, some of it was too strong. But I think what a lot of people didn't like was, normally you spend 2 powder for opening a boost forever. But then changing that to 2 powder for every 12 hours? And especially that part of it, it really adds up. I feel like the engraver could have been a real separated version of statues, but at least with this nerf, now it kind of feels like a Sculptor 2.0. And it's still pretty early since we got the engraver, so maybe we just need some time to see how it's gonna work out. Especially if we ever get new engravings, maybe we do want to change them more often. So we'll kind of find out. And even Crab had a few amount of changes. Normally we have the classic Crab with those cryobombs you kill and it slows down a bunch of buildings or troops. But in the last couple Crabs, we've had brand new buildings. Even last month we had a shield pulsar with a brand new mechanic to the game, just giving other buildings a shield. So we can see there's some new things being added, maybe even opening the door for this stuff to come on the main island. It's way different from maybe a few years ago where there's almost no updates. But now, every month or two, there's something pretty decent coming along. Maybe it's not always the most exciting, but at least enough to keep us engaged a little bit. Like we still have the This Month on Boom you can check out. And they have things like Troop Manias, temporary abilities, even proto troops, which we've had for quite a few years, so still something to look forward to each month. And sort of hoping that they can just keep it fun no matter if you're super competitive or even a casual player. Like that's where I feel a lot of people struggle with warships. It's something where you really gotta play every single day, and if you don't have that time, it's really tough to have fun. Though there might be some cool things coming up. In the past HQ updates haven't been too far apart. Back in April 2024 we had HQ 26, and just about 6 months later in November we had HQ 27. So if they still follow that timeline, it might not be too long before the next HQ update. And especially with next month, March, being the anniversary month, they usually have quite a few things planned like free daily diamonds or maybe something new for warships. So I think the next couple months are really going to show us what kind of direction this year is headed. In fact, next warship season is already confirmed to be 1 week long, which might be worth to try out for even casual players. So really just seeing how the next few months are headed, What do you think? Is Boom Beach headed on the right track, and has it done enough so far this year? Hoping for some pretty good things coming up, but we'll all see. And that's gonna be it for today's video. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.